Nice different.
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, present you live as a champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage. SmackDown, hold the title. This is Wrestling with Savage. What?
Wrestling with Savage begins now.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Wrestling with Savage. Happy 4th of July. Let me bring in Travis. We're here to bring you NXT tonight on the 4th of July. Now, I don't think it was live tonight, but they kept saying that Braun Breaker was going to be live. I think they just meant like live in the Performance Center. They figured they'd get away with that there. I'm pretty sure this was pre-recorded. But nonetheless, NXT opened up tonight with this matchup right here. And before we even get into that, let's get into Travis. What's going on, buddy? You were a little sick last night. Are you feeling better?
Yeah, I'm better. I think I just got food poisoning where I ate.
Food poisoning? And what the hell? Where are you living and what are you eating? Jesus Christ. You get food poisoning like all the time.
My parents wanted to go to Chili's yesterday, and I said, sure.
Yeah, yeah, you had some chili, all right. I'll tell you that. All right, NXT tonight kicked off with Roxanne Perez and Valkyria, who got the rub from from Rhea Ripley. She got the rub from Rhea Ripley last week. Rhea Ripley made a comment saying that, Valkyria is legit. Everybody should watch out for her. And I feel like tonight we kind of saw an evolution in the women's roster on NXT, where we saw two up-and-coming stars on the women's side pick up wins tonight. And starting off with Valkyria, who put down Roxanne Perez. And I wasn't surprised by it, but what did you think of the match and the decision?
Well, first of all, not that I'm trying to be rude, but it was Blair Davenport versus Roxanne
No,
Perez.
you're not being rude, man. Correct me if I'm wrong. Blair Davenport. Why? What did I say? I said Valkyria.
You said Valkyria.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm out of here, man. Here comes the Dave Meltzer boys. Dave Meltzer boys. I don't even like Dave Meltzer, but yeah, you're right. Blair Davenport had the match with Roxanne Perez, but she's picked up the win, and she's fairly. She's not new. She's been here before, but she's new as far as she just got back.
It was a decent match, and Jay, you can quote me on saying this. Decent match, but honestly, the whole night of NXT for tonight, it just felt kind of underwhelming. Like, you could tell it was like, okay, this is our first show after the Gold Rush thing, so we're just going to try and, not ease y'all back into it, not go over the top. And it was okay. It just wasn't it wasn't anything phenomenal.
Well, that's nice to know at the beginning of our show. I mean, you could have saved that synopsis for the end of the show, but, it's okay. NXT was okay tonight, probably because it wasn't live. There's no 5-star here. Here's your winner, Blair Davenport, picking up the win. Like I said, changing of the guard kind of situation tonight where the newer woman on the roster picking up the win. We got a little interview over here. Tiffany Stratton, Ivy Nile. They're going to go at it next week. I'm looking forward to that matchup because Ivy Nile is actually really good. And I think she could help Tiffany Stratton, progress in the ring and pick up some new moves. And hopefully they're working together in the Performance Center, getting ready for their match. What's going on, Gianna?
Nice.
How you doing, man? I'm happy to hear that you're going to be at MSG for SmackDown. Enjoy that one. That's going to be a good one. The Bloodline, the tribal court of, Roman Reigns. Even though, in my opinion, I think they've already done that, so it's kind of like a repeat. They should do something different or not even announce it like Jay said. Jay made a good point, which is rare, but he made a good point yesterday saying that, why tell us anything? Just keep your mouth shut. Why ruin it, So I actually did think Jay made a good point there. Stephen Chambers says, Ivy now is going to lose next week thanks to Ava Raine. Yeah, that's probably 100% true. That sounds about right. We got a nice vignette from our, WWE current resident and NXT, and that's Baron Corbin, basically burning all his gimmicks that he's had over the years, saying no more gimmicks, no more games, no more bullshit. I like this. Me personally, I thought this was good shit.
I thought this was on. As sad as this is going to sound, I actually thought this was the best part of NXT tonight. Was just
I'm not going to argue with you there. Listen, if you're a fan of Baron Corbin, and just the fact that you saw him have a banger match just the other week with Carmelo Hayes,
he's a workhorse.
You see them, trying to put him back into a series. And Steven, I'm going to disagree with you there. I mean, I think he burned all the gimmicks tonight. Mm-hmm. I think he burned all the gimmicks, including the Lone Wolf.
They showed it starting with the Lone Wolf.
Yeah, I mean, I think he burned all the gimmicks. We're going to get a brand new Baron Corbin here.
Yeah, and he said, I can't go back to the past. I have to kill it. So yeah. I think what we're going to see is, maybe a little bit of incorporation of the Lone Wolf gimmick into it, but I don't think it will be going back to it 100%. I think the most we'll see is just kind of that darker edge to him.
Yeah, no, you're probably right about that. I guess I'll move more this way since I have this big banner in my head. It's okay. I don't mind. It's happy 4th of July. I'm just happy that Corbin is getting treatment and getting time and in a serious tone. It's not like, let's just throw him in this gimmick. Who cares if he wins or loses or looks like shit? This is all being done meticulously, with time, with care, with effort, even with love, I would dare say. And I'm a fan for it. I'm all here for it. I'd love to see more. I can't wait to see where this goes.
What people don't understand is that Corbin is a workhorse, and I know this is going to sound weird.
Oh, he is a workhorse.
But he's a workhorse in the same way that Seth is. But while Seth he wins, Corbin is constantly losing, trying to,
let's be honest. Seth had a couple of losing things going on when Cody came back, And no, Corbin doesn't need a mask. Stop that. Stop that right now. There he is. He's burning the gimmicks. He's done with King Corbin. He's done with Happy Corbin. He's done with the Lone Wolf. All of it.
Done with the Crown.
King Corbin. Yeah, it's all done. It's all done. Oh, God,
I don't know what's going on with Wyatt. I don't know if he's ever coming back.
I don't even care, man. I don't care. I don't care. Just
stop.
Care.
He's a loser. He's always been a loser since 2012, for God's sakes. He only won the Battle Royale Cup or whatever that shit is, and then he won the U.S. belt.
How fucking drunk are you right now?
Oh,
how literally?
You're talking about Corbin being a loser? No, Jay proving he's once again brainless.
Yeah, shut up, Jay. I agree. Shut up, Jay. I'm going to put that up on the screen. We have Mustafa Ali taking on Tyler Bate. This was a good match, though, Travis. This actually was a very well-written match. Very well choreographed.
You know how we were talking about we got to get in the gimmicks and chemistry with each other and all that? I just realized it because both of us agreed. Jay is the Shivani of the group.
No, he's worse than Schiavone. Stop it. Don't disrespect Tony Schiavone by comparing him to Jay. Jay's got takes that would make a dead person.
No, I just meant that one where both of us could at the same time be like, shut up, Jay.
I'm just smarter than all of you dumb fucks.
No, what you are is drunk. We can take an IQ test live anytime you want. I'd be glad to shatter your dream of having a higher
You guys,
IQ
excuse
live.
me, but you guys are bragging about that Baron Corbin is the workhorse. The motherfucker only won.
He's not the workhorse. Belt. He is a workhorse.
He debuted, you dumbasses, and he only won one belt in his entire career.
Doesn't matter. He's been booked
He's
properly.
A loser.
His finisher
did more than that, and for God's sakes, he's in the same boat as Baron Corbin.
Doesn't change his work habit, man. And you wouldn't call him a loser to his face. You're only brave enough to do it behind the camera because you're an internet warrior.
I think
Jay's taking this show off the rails. Look up.
Hold on. Jay actually does make a good point.
Oh, here it comes.
This is where you get into one of the great questions, which is, how do you determine great Hall of Fame worthy? Let's not forget, Jake the Snake Roberts never held a world title, and he is a first ballot Hall of Famer. So do you determine it by the amount of matches they have that were great? Do you determine it by how many titles they won? I'm not going to say that if you're going solely by title. No, man,
it's determined by body of work overall. It doesn't matter. Championships don't matter. The Brooklyn Brawler never won a championship, and it doesn't change the fact that he's a Hall of Famer.
Absolutely.
End of story. That's your answer. Everybody's different. Everybody has a different case. It's all a different body of work. What you contributed, what you did. You could be a loser your whole career and still contribute more than anybody. I'll give you an example. What's his name? Brian Myers, right? Biggest loser in the history of WWE. Went on to create a pro wrestling academy and gave us the likes of MJF, Max Caster. And
he's plugging in people. He's plugging in
It's
people.
about body of work.
Here comes the plug-in.
didn't say he's a Hall of Famer. I didn't say Corbin's a Hall of Famer. I said there have been lots of Hall of Famers who have never won and held a single world title. So that title, to me, is not how you determine it.
Gianna, you want to come on the show? Every time I send you the link, Gianna, you try some.
Why you want to come on the show and listen to Baron Corbin being a future Hall of Famer? Why? Why you want to be on the show?
He's not. Who said he's a future Hall of Famer?
You are.
Well, he probably is a future Hall of Famer. They're running out of people. So, I mean. Jay, he's going to be a world champion. I'll bet you anything in this room versus anything in your room that he will be a world champion by the end of 2030. And yes, I did say 2030. But that's how much time it might take.
That's all you hear. Crickets. You don't hear nothing else.
No, there's no crickets here, Jay. There's no crickets here. There's us talking. We're having a conversation, and you want to say your part. I get it. You hate Baron Corbin. That's fine. But I think the correct answer is.
I mean, hey, look, we're all allowed to like who we like and don't dislike who we dislike. Like, for instance, I don't care what you do. Even if you turn her heel, I'm still gonna say Bianca Belair is shit.
Yeah, no, everybody's going to have their opinions. But now I want to get the opinion of Jay, and we're going to go to you first, Jay. I'm going to play the slides. Why don't you tell me what you thought about the opening match after, the opening men's match, I should say. You got notes? I hear him turning pages.
He's so shit-faced, he doesn't even want to be on camera.
Yeah, Jay's done. He's guaranteed obliterated right now. He doesn't want his son to come back one day and be like, damn, Dad, you were fucking wasted.
At some point, he's going to be like, on the stream, he's going to be like...
I really enjoyed this match. For me, it was match of the night until the main event. The main event actually stole the show. No, this was a good match. How can you say it wasn't a good match?
That's what you heard.
Crickets? You don't like this match?
That's my review.
Okay, Travis, let's go to you, man. You might have something intelligent to say here about Mustafa Ali and Tyler Bates. Do you think the right person won the match?
Yes.
Okay, so you're happy with the winner. Mustafa Ali's obviously going to get a title shot against Carmelo Hayes at the Great American Bash, which is
you got to remember, I'm still operating under the theory that Ali this is a heel gimmick, so I think it was the right person to win because I think what they need to do is I think they need to get him to the title match and then have him turn fully heel, like no more question about it, and take the title off of Wes Lee because I just think he deserves a heel run.
Okay. All right. Well, Jay got crickets on this. He didn't like the matchup at all, but you know what? I'm okay with that. That means we're going to get through this show quickly because Jay probably hated everything he saw tonight. We got a promo here from Joe Gacy and Ava Raine. They're basically, defending what Joe Gacy did and that Joe Gacy does everything to, help the schism grow stronger. Any comments on that little promo there? Or do you want to save the Joe Gacy stuff for the end of the night?
It was good. It was a good promo. Joe Gacy looks like some sort of evil cultist hipster, but other than that, I mean,
got a little Charlie Manson vibe going on, getting everybody else to do his bidding.
Yeah.
Jay, you got any comments on this one? Yeah.
He doesn't even have his mic on, so.
I don't know, but this was okay. Okay, and there we go. See, we're going to get a match between Tatum Paxley and newcomer. I believe that's Kalani Jordan. All right, she's a gymnast, champion, 5-time All-American. She got a master's degree in journalism, gymnastics hero. She's making her debut tonight. And again, this is what I was talking about, changing of the guard. Here we go with now this one is just like a brand new girl, and she's going to go ahead and beat Tatum Paxley, who's, in my opinion, at this point, like a little more seasoned, right? She's been here for a minute. She's had plenty of matches, and she's good. I like Tatum Paxley, but Tatum Paxley's going to take
I'll say this.
Loss.
For a brand new girl, this new girl looked surprisingly... She actually looked surprisingly competent for someone who this is their first match.
Well, I'll say this. She wasn't hitting the ropes hella hard. And that shit always pisses me off when I see the ladies not hitting the ropes. When that top rope doesn't even move, you're not hitting it, all right? She's literally catching the second rope with her thigh and then immediately popping right off. She's not taking the full hit, which means you're not really in it yet. Like, it takes time, man, to really get it and hit everything aggressive. But she has all the tools to train. We'll see if she turns out like another Bianca or, maybe she'll have her own little gimmick.
No. I mean, and it's funny you mentioned, another Bianca because, and yes, I know I shit on her a lot, but if you look at Bianca now in the ring versus back then, Bianca was doing that same crap during her first couple of matches too. She, hit the rope, but the top one wouldn't hardly even move, and it was like, my point is just it takes time for anybody to fully get it down because I bet you most of these indie wrestlers are used to places like the Battlefield where there's one rope on the whole ring.
One rope? What do you mean? There's 3 ropes.
We're going off the rails.
Yeah, Travis, that was like the worst take you've ever given ever.
I know, that was intentional. That was a J take.
What did that have to do with Paxley?
I fired Travis. He'll be back in a minute. What am I dealing with over here? I got one guy who's fucking wasted and can't even get in here. And another guy's just talking shit about the one rope at the Battlefield. Have you been to the Battlefield, sir?
No, not yet.
You don't want to get beat up by the Battlefield roster.
No, I don't. I don't want to get beat up by any roster. I don't want to get beat up by Jay. So, I mean,
I think you could beat up Jay.
Try me in about 5 days when I've been on paleo and given up sugar for 5 days. I'll be in a bitchy mood. Then we'll see.
You're just going to bitch slap Jay to death. I like it. You'll be like that episode of South Park where that guy was going around slapping his son, slapping the wife, slapping everybody. Slap, 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 slap. It's going to be you slapping people. All right. Anyway, she picks up the win and she has like a stunner. I'll give her that. I liked the finish. It's a suplex, right? The girl goes to pick her up in a suplex. She twists her body and then hits him with a stunner. It's different.
Every time in AEW, we'll see it tomorrow night.
We will see it tomorrow night from Kenny Omega, probably. Who knows?
Probably from Cassidy as well.
Maybe. Here's your girl, Cora Jade, over here. On top of the wrestling world. The person that I think is better than Roxanne Perez, and at the end of the day, she is being booked better than Roxanne Perez. She ain't out here losing matches.
Oh yeah, she's been booked really well.
Better than fucking Roxanne.
Have a match on TV.
I'll tell you what, she's being booked better than Dana Brooke, who's just everybody's sidekick now on Raw or SmackDown or whatever. There's Dana.
Wasn't that all she ever was?
Yeah, well, that's what she is now. She's a permanent sidekick. Dana Brooke.
I can't remember the last time she actually was able to hold down anything by herself.
Oh, she's holding down the ropes right there. You can't see she's holding them down.
I said by herself.
Shut your ass up, man. She is by herself. No one's touching the second rope.
Can't take this girl seriously.
Says, chick in the pink got the mom bod. And what do you have? The grandfather bod? Shut your ass up, Ricky, making fun of... I already forgot her name.
I've got the great-grandfather bod, so you ain't going to get me complaining.
I got to go back to it. Hold on. What's her fucking name? I love Ravishing Ricky. Mick Thomason in the house. How you doing, Mick Thomason, man? You here to tell Jay he's a piece of shit again?
Nick.
Kelani Jordan.
Nick.
As a mom bod, according to Ravishing Ricky, motherfucking Ramon. Yeah, we're cursing on the show because it's Happy 4th.
No, we will not, Mick. I refuse.
You stop begging her romance. What? I'm really not a big fan of you. Need to stop. Mick, Roxanne Perez is a trash can on fire. It's a dumpster fire, and you know it, Mick Thomason. And you know what? I don't care. You can tell your mom that I said.
I'm gonna go on an old school gimmick here. If I had a dime for every good Roxanne Perez match, I would have 0 dimes.
I'll take it. It's classic. All right. Anyway, Cora Jade coming out. She's going to talk some shit saying, who the hell are you? Just shut up. Let me talk real slow so I can blah, blah, blah. Now we go into the Chase U sitcom. I guess this is like a sitcom now. They're getting a decent amount of time. Andre Chase basically letting Duke know he's very proud of him for holding down the fort while he was gone. He's the MVP. Now go sit your ass down. He congratulates Thea Hale, who he says should be the NXT Women's Champion because Tiffany did tap out, right? But not officially. And they're going to target Duke. Is this Duke? Duke? Duke over here. This is, I think, an old segment when he was with Charlie Dempsey and Drew Gulak. But it looks like we're getting that tag team match. Jay, do you think this is going to turn into a turn? Is this where Duke turns?
No, this is leading to the tag match at Great American Bash against Drew Gulak and his lackey over there. It should be an interesting tag match. I told you, these guys can have the cheesiest segments, but everybody's hooked. It works, and it's working here.
Playing the violin for Mick. Roman got pinned. What a jobber. King Mike, you're not wrong. He did get pinned, but I wouldn't necessarily call him a jobber. But hey, that's your take. That's fine. Well, I used to make fun of him.
So I'm going to answer your question, Savage. And
which one was that?
Say
going
yes.
Off the rails.
Yes, I think this is where Duke is. Well, I think Great American Bash is where Duke will turn, and I think he'll reveal that hey, Drew Gulak took me as something.
You don't believe in Chase U.
Mick Thomason, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but I still love you. Listen, here we are talking about Duke Hudson. Duke Hudson. Look at Duke Hudson. And I mean, really look at Duke Hudson. You know what Duke Hudson is? He's somebody that Vince McMahon would push to the moon. That's who Duke Hudson is. Duke Hudson
don't go off the rails that far.
They would push him, man. Duke Hudson, look at him. Englishman, huge body. Look how much bigger he is than Charlie Dempsey and Drew Gulak. Literally doubles them in size. He's a monster of a man. He's probably bigger than Drew McIntyre, and I can't wait to see him on the main roster ripping people's heads off.
Stephen Chambers, can you tell Savage is going off the rails, please?
Ripping people's fucking heads off. Mother.
He's not going off the rails at all. It's a wrestling show.
It's a wrestling show. Shut your ass up.
Going off the rails is if we would start talking about the climate in Zimbabwe. That's off the rails.
Andre Chase has gotten pinned many, many times. Gianna Forever says, Mick, kiss my ass.
Well,
here we are live. Live on Wrestling with Savage. We're talking about ravishing Ricky Ramone getting his ass kissed by Mick Thomason. Here we are in the ring over here. They're setting it up for NXT Underground. They're letting you know that the NXT crew is working so hard. And you know what? This was... I'm going to let Jay go first. Go for it, Jay. It's all you.
I gotta come on for this.
Oh, Jay, look at Jay. Jay, we're gonna put him on the full screen.
NXT does something that WWE fails big. They make things really bad and they make it good. And this was pretty good. Yeah, I want to talk about the match. I wasn't a fan of these guys' work, but this was a good reintroduction. I'm happy there wasn't no quick camera cuts and all that BS that we were getting from Shane McMahon and the horrible commentary. If you guys think I'm Tony Schiavone, you haven't heard Shane McMahon and Raw Underground, please watch it again. This is by far the worst shit I ever heard in my life. But this worked. The only thing I have is that these guys are still green. They kept doing the same repetitive moves. What was it? Belly to belly on the outside, then into a sleeper. Takedown slam, then into a sleeper. Takedown slam, then into a sleeper. Barricade to barricade. I wasn't a fan of the match, but I expected Thorpe to get the win. Now, this is where it gets super effing weird for me. It gets weird at the end. What the F? If you want to give a guy TV time, why do you have to give him TV time that makes no fucking sense? This was the weirdest thing I seen. I get it, but it was unnecessary by his brother, Gable Stevenson, to do all those belly-to-bellies and slams. It was just really unnecessary and very weird.
I got to add myself into the stream real quick because I got to tell this guy something. Mr. Mick Thomason, you need to know something. If you want autographs to keep coming to your house free of charge, I would know your role and shut your mouth.
And that's what I got to say.
I agree with you, Jay.
What do you have to say, Travis, about this? Let's know. I'm going to right now.
Let me speak then. In concept, I think that the Underground match could be a good thing. Get major grudge matches done that way where it's it's so violent the ring won't contain them. This match itself, I'll agree. We all knew Eddie Thorpe was going to pick up the win. The Gable Stevenson stuff felt completely unnecessary. And yeah, Damon Kemp is a good worker, but here's the thing. I continue to be unimpressed with Eddie Thorpe. He's nothing.
impressed with Eddie Thorpe. He's nothing. This match was awesome. I don't care who Eddie Thorpe is because Damon Kemp absolutely shined in this match.
So it is
He
funny.
is a suplex machine. Suplex machine. Some of the spots that he did, the suplex off of the top of the ring to the outside with the no ropes. And if you interrupt me, I will fly to Texas and chop your ass. Here's what we saw tonight in this match. Raw Underground. Fucking good shit. Like Jay said, a great way to revive the brand.
Is it just me, or it's very weird, but from the angle I'm sitting and the angle you hit it, like, for a minute I was like, huh, he almost looks kind of like a young Randy Orton, but at the same time I'm like, but with none of the talent.
Here
whatsoever.
in this picture right here, a young Randy Orton?
But with none of the talent
With
whatsoever.
none of the talent, no, not at all. Jay, do you think this guy is going to still be here at the end of the year?
First of all, we got to figure out what is he? Is he Native American? Is he Hispanic? Is he a DJ? We need to figure out his identity first before I can answer that question.
Why don't you hit him up on Instagram and ask him?
We just got to figure it out. I don't know his
We got to
identity.
figure it out. All right, I want everybody in the chat to take a guess. What do you think Eddie Thorpe's nationality is? Damon Kemp out there, and his brother is backing up Eddie Thorpe. Do you think we got the right winner here, guys, though?
No. I actually think they should have given it to Damon Kemp.
I agree. Damon Kemp should have won.
I never really had a winner. I just wanted to see how the concept would be, and it didn't fail. We didn't hear no bad Shane McMahon commentary that we heard every single Monday. And we didn't get no distractions from Moss on the outside or some dancers. We actually got a fight. And that's what we wanted to see. And we didn't see that in Raw Underground, unfortunately.
You're 100% right. And it was a good format, but for story's sake, I think it would have been better if Damon would have won. I would have booked it with Damon winning. But you know what it is, Travis? Nothing else has been working to get this guy over, so that's probably...
I don't think this will.
It probably won't, because it didn't work for us, but here's the thing. Maybe it worked for 50 other people, or 100 people. We don't know. We're not out there.
I'm sorry, but it still just annoys me that they completely glossed over the fact that it's like, wait a second, hold on. Damon Kemp is Gable Stevenson's brother, but then last week when they had the thing, they were the promo or whatever, they were like, oh, well, I've been following this guy's career for a long time. No shit, you're his brother. Like, why would y'all say something like, I've been following his career, but not that he's your brother? Like that.
And why does he have to come up after the big win from Eddie Thorpe and then Gable Stevenson over here just suplexing everybody?
They're giving him TV time, and this was just a bad way to do it. It was weird. Very weird.
I would like to see Omos beat up all of these guys. I'd be okay with that.
Oh, come on. Stop.
NXT Champion's got something to say. He's talking about Judgment Day. Rhea Ripley looked good. Finn Balor, she warned us about the threat of Finn Balor. And, of course, Damian Priest, who's a threat because he's got the money in the bank. Could he possibly cash in on Mr. Carmelo? I don't think so. I think Damian Priest has his, sights set much higher than the NXT level. SummerSlam coming to you live, Detroit, premium live event. It's going to be Saturday, August 5th, and the calendar looks good for that day. I think some live play-by-play is in order for this one here. Last SummerSlam, didn't Bayley make her return?
Yes. No.
And what's incredible to me, didn't she come back at SummerSlam?
No, that was WrestleMania. Yeah, she came back at WrestleMania. Somebody came back at SummerSlam, though.
I think it was Becky.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was Becky.
Am I wrong here?
Back SummerSlam and beat Bianca, right? If anybody says I'm wrong, say I'm wrong.
No, SummerSlam. Bayley returns. You guys are both wrong, and I'm right.
I'm saying, if I'm wrong, say I'm wrong.
Bayley returned at SummerSlam.
What year was this?
Okay.
Last year. God damn it, man. What am I talking to over here? Oh. Bayley returned last year. I was trying to make a point. She hasn't been as relevant since that day. When she came back at SummerSlam, everybody was hyped. Everybody was excited to see her back. And she lost all her momentum literally the next night.
Why were we excited to see her back? You know why? Because before she was injured, she was killing it. She was holding it down in the COVID era next to Drew. She was basically the top heel, and she comes back with 2 scrubs.
My point is, it took a full year to get her full circle. Because
You
now,
say 2 scrubs, but I was actually really excited to see Sky.
no,
and Dakota
Sky,
Kai.
yeah. Well,
Now,
not Kai.
He
Not Kai.
hasn't performed.
Now, Dakota Kai
talking
unfortunately
about
got
now.
injured, and Io Sky we'll have to see. But I really do think that if she's handled correctly, she could be a believable Miss Money in the Bank that's a threat.
Well, listen, it doesn't matter. Sky isn't the Money in the Bank winner. Bailey is. Bailey's the future champion. Bailey's going to get that briefcase off of her. Bailey is going to screw her. Take that title.
Or
take that briefcase.
Bailey is going to win the championship, and Io will cash in on her.
I think she wants to stay heel. But we'll see. There's some good possibilities for SummerSlam. I'm hyped for it. We see here Stacks over here with Joe Coffey and Tony D in the reflection. And they're basically letting him know that, they work together to do all this. And next week they're going to have a match. And if Stacks wins the match, they're going to drop all the charges on Tony D. But if Joe Coffey wins the match, yeah, it's not looking good for Tony D. He's probably going to go to jail. Conviction they're talking about. Do we like the storytelling here, Jay? Are you happy with this?
Okay, so maybe I'm drunk. Maybe I'm drinking too much Hennessy right behind me. Maybe it's just something. So you're telling me WWE NXT officials and Shawn Michaels can do stipulations in prison?
Yes.
Are we living in a fantasy, boys? I thought this was wrestling, for God's sakes. And you want me to believe all this crap? I don't believe it. This is the worst thing I ever saw in my life. I can't believe this was pre-recorded. I'm gonna change this multiple times. But it's nonsense. And the fact that this stipulation came out and Stacks saying the truth, it just even made it worse. Should have backstabbed the freaking guy, for God's sakes. Now Tony D's gonna what?
Travis, are you upset with this as Jay is, or did you like this?
I mean, I have to actually agree with Jay. Plus, the way they did this to me was just so silly. It's like, so hold on. If you two work together to get him in the pin and all this, why is there even a match, period? Like at this point, you've already got him in jail. Just leave things the way they are. But
So you just want to leave him in jail. You don't want him to come out.
well, no, I'm just saying that from a logic standpoint, why would you offer him the opportunity to get out if you've gone into all this trouble to frame him?
I agree with Steven Chambers. I
That's
think this
terrible.
storyline
That's
has been
terrible.
absolutely terrible. It hasn't been done correctly. There aren't enough pieces involved to make it really feel like a mafia thing. Mafias have big families. The Tony D'Angelo family should have been focusing on getting bigger and stronger, while Gallus was doing the same thing, bigger and stronger. And then you have these different families causing different situations on shows. But no, let's just do silly storylines where we throw grown men by ourselves into the trunk. Do you know how hard it is to put a grown man in a trunk by yourself?
Well, here's what another thing I don't understand.
No?
Gallus is supposed to be a face group, right? So why is Joe Coffey over here acting like a heel when he's part of Gallus? It's like that makes it hard for me to see Gallus as a face, because it's like, dude, like it's like the old cops thing, if you see a cop, if you're a cop and you see your partner beating up on a dude, you need to step in and stop him, or you're just as much to blame.
Okay. I'm not
I don't know. I've never understood if they're heels or faces.
I'm not wasting any more time on either of this shit, because the storyline shit, it should have been so much better, because the guys have potential and they're all actually really good in the ring when it comes to actually wrestling. They can all wrestle, especially Tony D. Big comeback for Tony D. When I started this show last year, Tony D to me was a trash bag for about a good solid 3 to 6 months. He was a trash bag in the ring. He was a trash bag on the month. He was a trash bag everywhere. Now he's a beast. He's a beast. Here's another match we're going to get.
Okay.
JC Jane, and here again, my point that I made earlier, changing of the guard. The people that shouldn't be losing are losing. Lyra Valkyrie beating JC Jane, and you can see the footprint though. I'll give JC Jane that. Let's full screen that, Travis. Do you see JC's footprint on her face?
Mm-hmm. I do. I mean, you say shouldn't be winning and shouldn't be losing, but I mean, let's be honest here. At this point, JC Jane, Gigi Dolan, I think the ship has sailed. I just do not see it being anything big anymore. It's like when they first did it, and her betraying her and slamming her through the door and all that was interesting. But now it's just gone nowhere.
Well, there's the knee to the face that ended the match. Jay, what did you think of the match and the outcome? Would you have booked it differently?
Man.
I wish I was Kevin Owens.
I got a lot to say. First of all, I'm going to say JC Jane is a Mission Pro alumni. And you know who else is an alumni, folks? That's right. Person you hate the most, Roxanne Perez, Wrestler of the Year 2019 Mission Pro. Look it up, folks. Now, back to this match. The match was okay. It's not great because of JC Jane. I told you, Savage, there's something wrong with her. Ever since they both split these girls, they just keep looking worse and worse every time I see them wrestle. But something is happening here with Valkyrie, and I can't seem to get my eyes off her. You know why? Because she's connecting with the crowd. She's connecting with me. And the crowd was cheering on her when she was doing some moves. And that's what I like about her being booked, no matter how many times I call her Bird Lady or Bird Shit. They book her with heels or babyface. And you know what? These heels or babyface, whatever it is, even this person that absolutely sucked tonight in JC Jane, they make her look good when she does her movesets. And that's what sells, and it's selling, and it's working. The only thing I would give her some tips is that finisher, that roundhouse kick, the spinning, it has to be much faster. It has to be a snap. It can't be that slow.
I will email her tonight and tell her, Jay, for Wrestling with Savage says your shit needs to have a snap.
Fast. I will say this about JC Jane because she absolutely sucked in my eyes tonight. She wanted some heat back. She got it by throwing and plucking all those feathers out. But if that's the way you're going to get heat, for God's sakes, you got to follow it with a good match. And I have been disappointed with JC Jane ever since the split of Toxic Attraction. But Lara Valkyrie is sneaking up to me, Savage and Travis. I'm starting to become a fan little by little every time I watch. She has some good matches. She's doing good work. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Plus, they did some tweaks in her presentation. If you remember, she came out, it was all dark and shit with all the birds in the back. Now she's coming out like a star. I'm starting to see it little by little. Let's see if I'm right.
I'm going to agree with Steven Chambers.
I fired you. Now you're back. I was going to say something, but we'll go ahead.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
Go for it. No, go for it. Where do you agree?
I have to agree with Steven Chambers and even Jay. The problem I have with her spin kick thing is it looks like a slower, weaker version of Malachi Black's Black Mass. Like, if you're going to hit this thing, you need to hit it fast so it looks impactful, and it needs to be bam, hit, fall down, pin, 1, 2, 3. That quick.
Okay, Steven Chambers let us know for sure, and Chop City, that Gallus is definitely heels, and JC plucked the Bird Lady after the match. Yes, she did, and I think she should have did much more than that. She should have kept kicking the shit out of her, kept that bad boy image, and you can say whatever you want, but at the end of the day, JC did her job and left her with a big stain on her face, showing you that she hits for real, she hits hard, she's hard-hitting, she's action-packed. And I think JC Jane should have won this match. Of course, you're going to think this is over. Of course, you're going to think Toxic Attraction's done and this and that. Because they are done. But the thing is, JC Jane was booked as a boss in that storyline. She was the one that kicked Gigi Dolan through the door. So if you're going to make her look so goddamn good, and you're going to go out of your way to put a year or 2 year storyline together for it to end with JC Jane going over as the big bad wolf, you shouldn't have her losing to some stupid bird.
Okay, I think you're missing it, Savage. This is the next big baby face.
You're right. It is. They've obviously abandoned.
No matter how you book this woman, matter you hate her or love her,
I don't hate her.
She's going to be the top baby face.
I agree.
And think about it like this. Her movesets that she did for the first 10 minutes of the match, guess what? Roxanne Perez does the same thing.
Yeah, no, you're right, but I agree with Steven. The wrong lady run the match. And the reason I say that is because you have invested so much in JC Jane. There was ways that you could have had her beat her and still having her look good. Lyra still needs time, man. Lyra needs time. Lyra needs time.
I mean,
Lyra needs time.
What I don't get is this. What you're talking about, how they're cheering for the Bird Lady and all this stuff, and I'm not disagreeing with you. But man, that first night when she turned on Gigi, threw her through the door or whatever, the amount of heat she was getting was amazing.
Yes,
And
but they messed up. They messed up. They dropped the ball, man. What did we think about this? Noam Dar looking at the picture of the Heritage Cup. He misses it. He still talks to it. He has conversations with it. You know what? I don't even care what you two think, because this segment was short and we're not even going to keep it real. If you want, I'm sure Jay has something to say about Kiana, but honestly, who really cares? We'll wait till next week, because Kiana James says that now, it's on. It is on. You want to come to my office and mess my shit up? Call me a phony? Okay. I'll make you pay, Gigi Dolan. Now, this I might want to discuss, because I love this guy. I think he's fantastic. He comes out looking like a stud. Mr. Stone's telling him, hey, Von, please don't do it, man. Don't do it. Taking Javier and dumping him through the table, not listening to Stone, listening to the crowd. So, yeah, is this guy a babyface, a heel, or is he both?
Both.
He's lost. He's lost in a world that we don't even know. Let me tell you what I saw tonight in Ron Wagner. I saw bad acting. If I had to give a Raspy Award for the worst actor of 2023, I'm going to give it to Ron Wagner, because right here was bad acting what I saw. But I will say something positive. I think there's a slight possibility that he's starting to connect with the fans.
Yes, I can agree with that. I love Von Wagner, so I'm happy to see anything where he gets more TV time. We get another vignette for Bronco and Lucian.
I didn't get to say anything about Von Wagner.
What do you want to say about Von Wagner?
Go ahead.
One, I agree with Savage. I actually like Von Wagner. Two, I think he's starting to get better. Three, I think the fans are starting to connect with him. And four, you can't say that Razzie for worst actor of 2023 goes to Von Wagner. It goes to the same guy it's gone to for every year since he started in the business. George, I Can't Act Clooney.
Leave George Clooney alone. He's made plenty of good movies. Anyway, Bronco, Nima, Lucian, Price will be making their debut next week on NXT, and they said every tag team is on notice that they're going to beat anybody. We're going to see if that is going to be true. Here we get the main event wrestling match of the night. The Creed brothers taking on the Dyads, representing the Schism. Match would start out all members of the Schism ringside.
Whew,
Joe Gacy would get kicked out of this match real quick. Ava Raine would get the stay. And this was the match of the night, without a doubt. A lot of innovative offense. Even Brutus stepping it up tonight, because he was going to make his last match on NXT as memorable as possible. What I want to discuss is this. I knew the match was going to be good because I'm a fan of both teams. The right team won tonight. Creed brothers have already paid their dues. They need to be going to the main roster sooner than later. And the Schism need to start winning gold. And I'd like to see these guys be the next tag team champions. And I'd like to see Joe Gacy be the next world champion. And Ava's a valet. That's it. Don't put any gold on Ava. Not yet. Not until she can show me that she can wrestle. But the right people won here tonight. The Creed brothers are gone. So real quick, I'll go to Jay. Jay, what was your take on the match, and what happens to the Creed brothers now?
I actually wrote notes for this match because it was really good.
It was a really good match, yes. Match of the night.
I'm not a fan of jump starting matches, which we saw in the opener and we saw here, just to let you guys know. But how impressive was Julius tonight, for God's sakes. He climbs over guys to do a superplex. He does a shooting star. He does an impressive powerbomb, for God's sakes. How impressive was Brutus, guys? I mean, Brutus goes, he actually hit a Brutus ball on the outside, not a botch. I'm surprised about that. He does, I think what even surprised me more, that this guy is over 250 pounds. He does a 450 splash, but before he does the 450 splash, guys, I don't know if you noticed, he does a little shot, I guess, to Ryback. He does Ryback's finisher, and then he does the 450 splash, which I thought was freaking blew my mind. I was like, wow, this guy is actually impressing me tonight. So I'm very impressed with the Creed brothers if this is their outing. I'm very going to agree with Steven Chambers on this. I was surprised. I think all of us had the Creed brothers going in. It doesn't explain the fact that I'm going to believe they're going to stay. Travis and I are well aware that these guys have one foot out the door. It doesn't make me think differently just because they won this match. Hopefully the guy in the mask that interfered is somebody that's talented or a rising NXT star that has some potential. I would love to see that. But it was a good match. I'm not going to lie. The Creed brothers were very impressive, and I'm very looking much forward to what they could do in the main roster. I think they could be major players, but I think Julius as a solo, forgive me if I say this guy, maybe it's too soon, but I think he's way more impressive to me than Montez Ford.
Travis, what do you got on this match?
Couple things. Yes, I think the right team won. No, I do not think that this is what some people are talking about, where they're like, does this mean the Dyad is staying in WWE? I do not think that's the case. I think that the people who are saying that, well, the Creed should have gone off with the Creed should have gone in the draft, not with this. I will disagree with that because, yes, they lost, but they looked very strong in their loss. I think it still helps them. And lastly, I'm going to address Stephen Chambers, where he says, where will they go and when will they go and what brand best fits the Creeds? I think that their best fit is going to be SmackDown, and I think we're going to see it sooner rather than later. I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if we saw it as early as this Friday.
I disagree with that. SmackDown already has Pretty Deadly, which is NXT's other best talent. The Creed brothers need to go to Monday Night Raw because you put them in a program with Otis and Gable and Chad Gable. They'll put on bangers for 6 months. No problem. Your first storyline right there.
Now that you said that, I agree with you.
I will keep him away from the comedy act. That's just me.
Yeah, no. On Raw, having serious professional wrestling matches is the best fit for them. Bye-bye to the Creed brothers on NXT. Finn Balor's got a message for the NXT universe, and especially Carmelo Hayes. Says he's going to see him next week. We're going to also see the future of Tony D'Angelo. Freedom or trial next week. Stacks versus Joe Coffey. Tony D made a good point. He said, how could you put yourself in a match like this 3-on-1, you idiot? You stupid idiot. Tiffany Stratton versus Ivy Nile. Poor Ivy Nile. I hope she's ready for a loss because that's what's going to happen here. I agree with Travis. I think Ava Rain's going to come out and interfere, but we'll find out next week. Andre Chase, Stu Cutson, going to take on Drew Gulak, Charlie Dempsey next week. But now we get to the cream of the crop. At the end of the night, it's Braun Breaker letting you know that he's going to be here for the next 4. And you better get used to seeing his face. You better get used to seeing his face because he's the man that runs the place. And everybody's asking, what's next for Braun Breaker? And guess who's going to answer that question? By the way, he let you know he was that close to beating Seth Rollins, the world heavyweight champion of the WWE. But Mr. Dragunov over here had other plans. He came out to ruin Braun's little hype fest. And they go to war. And this is the last shot I have because honestly, all that happened after this is a bunch of officials and refs and wrestlers come out to try to separate the two men. This is going to be a good match. I'm just going to give my take and then I'll go to you, Travis, and then Jay, you can close us off. But I think this is going to be a good match. It's going to be more than one match. They're probably going to they need 3 matches to settle this shit. But will Von Wagner come out? I mean, not Von Wagner. Will Dragunov come out on top? I don't know. Travis, what do you see coming out of all this?
I went back to this slide, first of all, because I don't know why, but when I see this, I'm like, so did Bobby Roode eat John Cena? Like that the face, the hair, the beard, all reminds me of Bobby Roode. But like with the physique of John Cena. And here's the thing. As far as this goes, I think that, yes, this is a good feud. I do think that I'm going to stay here forever thing. I think that's a load of crap. I think that this feud, whoever wins it will stay in NXT, and whoever loses it will go up to the main roster because Dragunov and Breaker are both ready for the main roster. I have a feeling that it will probably be Dragunov who wins and Braun who goes up to the main roster, only because, I'm sorry to say it this way, very rarely in wrestling do I ever go, I want to run it back. Like, I rarely do that. But in the case of Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins, that was such a good match, I want to run it back. I want that. I want a second Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins match. And even if Braun loses again, I'm okay with that, because if it's as good as that first match was, that does nothing but elevate him. And I think that match taking place on NXT kept a lot of really important people from seeing Breaker in action. I think had that been on Raw with more eyes on it, you would have had Braun Breaker called up the very next week.
Perhaps. Jay, what was your take on this final segment of the night?
That was very fucking disappointed. That's how I felt about this, because last week live, they teased like it was some big announcement. I was expecting a sort of match, I don't know, like loser leaves NXT, sort of what we saw with the Creed and the Dyads, because he hyped it so much, and it was just so hyped for the last few days that it leads to this. Really? Eli Dragunov, the most dangerous man. But I will say this guy cut one hell of a promo. He's very comfortable as a heel compared to the babyface run he had. This guy only has 78 matches. He's already, in my eyes, the future babyface if you had to put Cody right after. This guy is it. But we'll see what happens in this match. Maybe Travis is right. Maybe he'll finally get called up. Let's face it, guys. Braun Breaker's on a 4-match losing streak.
I think this is going to lead to a loser leaves NXT match. I think Braun's going to win the first one, and Dragunov's going to win the next two and send him back into the main roster. And then by then, Dragunov will hopefully go on to defeat Carmelo Hayes for the NXT World Heavyweight Championship.
Here's a really crazy thought. What if Imperium decides, well, we want gold, just like how the Bloodline did. We want a whole bunch of gold. So we'll help Dragunov win this match. He gets an NXT title shot. They help him become NXT champion. And they're like, well, now we have the NXT championship. And like everyone's been saying, oh, well, Dragunov joins Imperium. Well, what if it's less Dragunov joins Imperium and it's more like just a business deal? And they don't necessarily bring him in as Imperium, but they go, but we're going to help you have gold. You're going to appear with us to make us look even stronger with more gold. And he stays in NXT, but like you could almost even do, as weird as it's going to sound, you could almost do like a NXT branch of Imperium. You could have Dragunov lead it and bring in Duke Hudson as part of it, since he's a fellow Brit. Like you could just, there's so much you could do to that for me with Dragunov. That being said, I don't see as much for Braun Breaker if he stays in NXT. I think there's more opportunities for him going up to the main roster.
This is a one-off.
I don't know if it's a one-off or if it's going to lead to multiple matches. It might be either way. Braun Breaker is ready for the main roster, and yes, he can be a babyface because he's big, he's awesome. He doesn't even need to talk. He just goes out there, kicks ass. The kids might end up loving him one day. He's got the body, he's got the look, he's got the face, he's got the history, the lineage, all that shit, man. So Braun Breaker can definitely go off and have a huge career either on Raw or SmackDown. And
generation talent.
While we've got this picture right here, if y'all can look, I don't know if it shows where my mouse is or not, but right here over that shoulder of his, right? There's that tattoo. What does that make you think of when you see it?
Yeah, Goldberg. Yeah, I get it.
You said it.
Book him as the next Goldberg. It's that simple. Just have him come in.
That's exactly how he would become a babyface. He'd come in and go nuts. But I don't think you bring him in until you're ready to do that. At least on one of the titles, like whether it be the United States title or the IC title. He could be honestly the guy that's coming to beat Gunther. If you want to be real about it.
Have him be on an absolute undefeated streak, have him win the title, and hell, I'm going to say this, and this is going to sound crazy, but hear me out. Have him come in the year, in 2023, on the main roster, no losses. Have him go a 6-month...
None of that matters because he still lost on NXT, though. The whole not lost thing doesn't mean shit. All that matters is that he's booked strong and he beats people up.
Yeah,
and he
right.
drops big names. If he's out there, imagine his first match. Braun Breaker versus Brock Lesnar. And he just beats Brock Lesnar. Beats him. Just destroys him. Do you know what that does for him?
Yeah.
That's why it doesn't matter. And he could lose 10 matches in a row and then beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania in a big program. That's it. It's over. He's off to the moon.
Oh, I mean, even this. Think about this. As much as faith as they've put in Gunther, even him coming in and being the guy who takes the title off of Gunther, that's still going to elevate his stock because they see Gunther as a huge, big deal. So,
well, that was on a Raw, not a WrestleMania, but yes, that was a big deal when Kevin Owens did beat John Cena. Anyway, happy 4th of July. That was NXT. Tomorrow night, I will be back. Jay will be back. Travis, I think you're coming back. Who knows who else is going to be here? Maybe we'll pull out some celebrities from our asshole or something. I don't know. I call Marty Jannetty, get him on here. But listen, happy 4th of July. Be safe. If you're out there still blowing shit up, keep your fingers. And don't forget, we got a lot coming up here in the Savage Kingdom. And real quick, I'm just going to run through it because why not? Black Dahlia at the Wrestling Universe, August 19th. Check out our website, WrestlingWithSavage.com, to see all of our different upcoming appearances. Jimmy Hart at Legends Fan Fest, Haku and Black Dahlia at Wrestle Bash 2, August 20th. That's going to be a good time. Go subscribe to my cousin Cri Text. He sponsors the show, does the theme song, and does the damn thing. If you haven't done so yet, sign up to Premier Streaming Network where you can watch Battlefield Pro Wrestling. Premier Streaming Network offers you plenty of wrestling from all around the world. Every single kind of promotion you could think about putting on pay-per-views live every single month. The Party with Marty podcast coming very soon. I will have a special preview show coming out as soon as I can get Marty to come on the damn show. I mean, Marty's a busy man. He's Marty Jannetty, baby.
Where are you, Marty?
Marty, where are you? Dark Side of the Ring. His episode's coming up in less than a month, I think, about a month. August 8th is his episode, and you're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be the most controversial episode of Dark Side of the Ring, and that's saying a lot. You can go to the website and pick up 8x10's Dark Side of the Ring featuring Marty Jannetty, autographed, personalized, whatever you want. Get it done. We sponsor Outlaw Wrestling, and their next event is coming up at Bolero. It's usually at the Queen's Brewery every second Thursday of the month, but this month it's not going to be at the Queen's Brewery. It's going to be at Bolero on the 14th, which is a Friday. It's normally a Thursday, but on the 14th, Friday night, Bolero in New Jersey. Come on down and watch Outlaw Wrestling. Savage will be there. Gilch will be there. It's going to be a good time. And at the end of the month, July 30th, 2023, you are going to get to see another banger match. This match could be on a WrestleMania card. I saw the first one that they had there live. It was awesome. I am very excited to not only see this match again, but to get exclusives with both of these guys, interviews with Matt Cardona, who's going to be on the show either next week or the week after. Cardona's got a lot to say about KC Navarro and his upcoming match at Age of Greatness. Sign up now to the Premier Streaming Network and do not miss out on this event. Tomorrow night, Dynamite, we're going to hear from Jon Moxley. We're going to hear from Chris Jericho. Britt Baker taking on Ruby Soho. Why they're putting Keith Lee and Swerve back together, I do not know, Travis, but we're going to find out tomorrow. Adam Cole and MJF over here teaming up tomorrow night. Blind Eliminator Tag Team Tournament quarterfinal. I'm trying to do my Excalibur bit, Travis. I know. Just get a towel and bite on it while I'm talking. Tomorrow night, AEW Dynamite going down live. And now, Travis, go ahead, let it all out.
Leave it on that picture. No, go back to that picture you just had it on. Go back to that picture you just had it on. And I said I wanted y'all guys to be a part of this. So come back into the chat.
What do you want from me, man? Why are you telling me
what's going on
my show?
I think we should
do you think you are?
Okay. I think we should start doing this idea. But let's just go with this. So
you got a
all
minute.
All of us go through. What do y'all think? I'm saying Omega wins. MJF and Cole are gonna win whoever they're facing. I'm going to say Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy, and I think Ruby Soho gets the win over Britt Baker, but I think shenanigans. What do y'all think?
I think I'm going to see it
Britt
live
gets the
tomorrow
win.
night.
It just proves she's an egomaniac and a drama queen.
MJF and Adam Cole are a brilliant pairing. If you've been watching social media, Adam Cole was streaming on Twitch, and MJF gave him a phone call and bothered him while he was playing video games, trying to talk to him about tag team wrestling. We should do this. We should do that. Let's be like this tag team. It was good shit. Adam Cole said, didn't I tell you about boundaries? Stop calling me. Stop bothering me. I'm playing video games. This is going to be good shit. It's going to be better than you think. And I actually think their chemistry is going to be incredible together until they finally end up having another match. Who knows if Adam Cole's going to be the guy to beat MJF or not? I don't care. I'm all here for it. Kenny Omega is... I am not done. Kenny Omega, you asked me for my opinion. Kenny Omega is the best wrestler on the planet. So it doesn't matter who he's fighting. He's going to look good. They're going to look good. It's going to be good. Wheeler Yuta, he's fucking useless. Don't give a shit. Chris Jericho, we're going to hear from him. He's the Ocho. Great. John Moxley, hopefully he comes out bleeding and gets it out of the way quickly. Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin taking on Swerve, and I feel bad for Swerve, and I feel even worse for Keith Lee, because they're going to lose to Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin. It's just a guarantee. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, taking on Ruby Soho, and for Ruby's sake, I hope Ruby wins, but who knows? I don't know. Go ahead, Travis.
No, I was just going to say, I said it back I think when they announced it like 2 weeks ago, I'll say it again.
A lot of comments.
What if MJF's train of thought is, oh man, if I get Adam Cole to be my tag team partner and win this, and now he's my tag team partner and we're the tag team champs, he's not going to come after my world heavyweight championship because he's going to be like, oh, we're defending the tag team championship together. Like, I think that this is a brilliant thing. Like, it's blind eliminator tournament, but what if we were to find out that MJF used his pull to somehow get the two of them as a team so that they did, like, I'm just like, this could be good writing from I'm the heel who will, and we've already seen this, but I'm the heel who will do anything to keep my title, even if that means having to give the title to another different title to my opponent.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Jay, you got anything else?
Just confused. Everybody talks about Omega had one of the best matches of the year, and you book him with Weeder useless?
Yeah. Well,
blows my mind. Bro.
I'll say this. This is one of the more underwhelming cards I've ever seen from an AEW. Usually they have like 19 matches advertised. Here, we don't even have there's 4 matches here advertised. A lot of talking going on.
What AEW needs to do better, guys, and everybody watching and in the chat, they need to get the shit right on time. When you have a 5-minute match, have a 5-minute match. When you have a 10-minute tag match, have a 10-minute tag match. Don't drag it. The more you drag it, the end looks like shit and it feels rushed. And I think I've been saying it for the last 3-4 times I've been coming on. The end is always rushed. Why? Because we give bullshit time to 6-man tags because we want to see some see the dives and oh shit, bad moves off the screen. And let me be my Shivani impersonator because people want to call me Tony Schiavone. Oh no, guys, this is awesome. Are you fucking kidding me? We need to make sure everything is on time.
It's still
So, additionally, and yes, I'll agree with y'all, like, what the is going on here? Like, Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland broke a cinder block over his freaking back. Are we ignoring this storyline now just because, well, we don't know what to do, so blind tag the two of them together? Like, unless they really do something to make it tie into that, I'm going to be pissed because it'll be one of the most glaring examples of what we've been talking about, which is when they just don't pay attention to storylines. It's like, you had him literally break a cinder block over the dude's back. There should be hatred. Like, before the bell even rings, the two of them should be ripping each other apart.
What there should be is blood on the forehead of John Moxley in this picture, because this picture.
Oh, there will be.
It's inaccurate.
Oh, in this picture. No, I was going to say on the
picture. No,
in the promo there will be.
Picture. But that's it. It's over. Wrestling with Savage is done. We're done. I'm out of here. It's 4th of July. There's fireworks still going outside. I think there's a house on fire tomorrow night. AEW Dynamite. You're not going to want to miss it at 8 p.m. live. And then make sure you check out Wrestling with Savage at 10:30 p.m. live. Subscribe, like, and share this fucking stream.